All right, looks like we're live. So, what's going on, guys? Tonight, I got something special for you. A lot of times, or actually over the past month, really, because we're getting into food plot season, a lot of people are starting to prep their areas and getting things set up, that they constantly have questions about antler grow. And tonight, if we can get a lot of people on here, what we're going to do is we're going to give away a free bottle of antler grow. Now, when we give it away, in order to win the bottle of antler grow, you have to be interactive on the video, ask questions, and you have to share this video with your buddies, get them to watch. And that's how we're going to do it. So if you have any questions about antler grow, how it works, what it does, how to use it, you can be sure to ask them, and then share the video, get as many people in here as possible, and then the best question is going to be the winner. So come up with some good questions. The best question is going to win. We're going to give this a few minutes to get a bunch of people on here, so please share the heck out of this video if you guys want to win. I'm going to make sure everything's going good here with the live stream. It looks like it is here. I'm going to be reading questions from my phone, just because for some reason the chat window here is currently not working, and I don't know why. All right, so that's what we're doing. So again, for everybody joining in, we're going to talk about antler grow tonight because it's a great product. I use it. This will be the third year I'm using it, and tonight we're going to give a free bottle away, which this one bottle here will actually cover 5 acres. It's 1 gallon of concentrate, which is actually mixed with water, so it goes a long way. It's very potent. So in order to win, share the video, invite some friends, and ask questions. The best question is going to be the winner, and Antler Grow is going to ship you out a free bottle, which is going to be perfect timing, because depending where you are in the country right now, everything's starting to green up, everything's starting to grow, so it'll be a perfect time to get this bottle. So share away and get a bunch of people in here. All right, so first question, or what's up, John? What's up, Timothy? What's up, Chris? Tim Garrett, what is the best time of year to put antler grow out? Antler grow, the best time to do it is in the first lush of spring. So as soon as everything starts to green up, everything's starting to grow, that's when you want to do your first spray. That goes to Tim Garrett. So depending where you are in the country, you can get this out as soon as things start greening up. Anything green and growing, it's a foliar spray. The plants ingest it through the leaves, so that's how the plants actually ingest it. It doesn't just stick on there to the plants. The plants are actually ingested, which makes the plant healthier. It's essentially plant food. It's micronutrients. So the first lush of spring is when you want to spray. Tim Garrett. What's up, Gunner? You just got set up camp. What's up, Jake? What's the best foliage to apply antler grow to? Jake Phillips. The best foliage is going to be depending on what the deer are eating on your part of the country. So it could be poison ivy, it could be some vines, it could be briars, it could be tons of different natural browse that deer are eating. There's I think over 700 different species of natural browse that deer will consume depending on what time of year that it actually is. So your best bet is, me personally, I just spray everything, but you could go through and find out what the deer are browsing on in your area, and you can spray that. But me personally, I just like to spray everything. If using on food plots, how much growth should I get before I apply the antler grow to? Jake Phillips, good question. We usually say about 4 to 6 inches on a food plot is when you can start spraying. Natural browse is pretty much any time the it's starting to green and grow. John, how many times a year can you spray a perennial plot? We recommend spraying every 2 months. The more you spray, the more nutrients build up in that plant at higher levels. So if you're trying to grow deer bigger, then the more you spray, the higher the numbers build up in that plant at the highest levels for the longest period of time, if that makes sense. So the more you spray, the longer it stays in that plant at the highest level. So if you're trying to grow deer, you want to spray really every 6 to 8 weeks. Jake Phillips, if I apply Antler Grow in early spring, can I apply it again later in the year? Jake, like I just said, you can spray every 2 months. Me personally, that first lush of spring, I'll spray as soon as that happens, and then I'll spray 30 days later, just because everything is starting to grow, so those plants are using as much fuel, nutrients available to fully grow and mature. So it's using the nutrients more than it would as if the plant was already mature at a dormant level. What's up, James? What's up, John? How many times a year do you need to spray the plants? James Batch. Like I just said, every 2 months. 6 to 8 weeks, 2 months. Timmy Evans. We have a farm and not been managed a lot over the years, so it's grown up a lot. There's trails, though it would be better to leave it on clear and plant fresh stuff as in food plot. Would be better to leave it or clear and plant fresh stuff as in food plot. Timmy Evans, honestly, your best bet is to spray natural browse. Anything green and growing in your area that the deer are eating, because deer are naturally browsing animals, so they're always going to go to the natural browse. So even if the leaves are gone, there's no green and growing plants, the woody browse, the nutrients are still locked in that woody browse. So when you actually spray the plants, it goes down into the stems, down through the leaves, down into the roots. And even though if a deer comes by and bites a leaf off, when that leaf grows back out, the nutrients are locked in there and it grows back out with that new leaf. Good question. What's up, Dave Murphy? Jake Phillips, is this beneficial to our garden plants and vegetables too? Absolutely. Anything that you can think of that's green and growing, Antler Grow works on. We get that question constantly. It's probably like the #1 question. What can you spray? Literally anything green and growing. Apples, persimmons, mango trees, fruit trees, briars, natural browse, food plots, clover, poison ivy, grapevines, honeysuckle, orange trees. The list goes on. But cucumbers, tomato, anything green and growing, vegetables, fruit, natural browse, food plots, anything green and growing. John, will Antler Grow eventually better the soil through going through the plants? Going through the plant. Yes and no. How that works is when you spray the plants, it doesn't technically do anything to the soil. It doesn't leave the plant. But over time, that nutrient-rich plant, you go to disc that in the following year, you can better the soil that way. But technically, Antler Grow does nothing to the soil. It's not like you just spray it. It's not a soil conditioner. It is actually plant food. When you spray the plant, it does not leave that plant. Dave Murphy, does Antler Grow work on corn? Absolutely. Anything green and growing. Would it work on my corn I grow for the deer? Yes. Anything green and growing. Corn will work. That's my question. Can it be too thick for them to browse and not just using it for cover? That's my question. Can it be too thick for them to browse and not just use it for cover? No. You can spray it on anything green and growing. A little confused by that question. Tim Garrett, how much is a jug of Antler Grow? A jug of Antler Grow is $79. It's free shipping. And before anybody says that it's too expensive, $79, you get a gallon of Antler Grow, and that gallon does 5 acres, 128 gallons of water. So literally for $16 an acre, that's what you're buying. For in that gallon concentrate, it equals out to $16 an acre, or $17 an acre, something like that. But there's nothing else that can do that essentially for $16 or $17, because you're covering that large of an area, whether it's 5 acres of food plots or 5 acres of natural browse. For everybody kicking on here, be sure to share this video. We want to get this video out as many people as possible, and for the people that are asking questions that want to win a free bottle, make sure that you are asking them, because the person with the best question is going to be the winner of a free bottle of Antler Grow. So be sure to share the video, share the heck out of it, invite some friends over as well. So here's a good question here. Andy Ball, when should you spray your plants during their growth period? Would it be more beneficial during the early stages so it is absorbed and stays with the plant? It'll always be absorbed through the green and growing plant, because the product has a sticker and a surfactant. So the sticker actually sticks it to those leaves in the plant, and it cannot be washed off. And the surfactant actually softens the tissues of the plant to allow the minerals in Antler Grow to actually be sucked into the plant. So it never leaves the plant. It cannot be washed off. Your best time to spray is very early spring, when everything starts to green and growing. And on the initial spray, those plants are going to use more of the nutrients quicker than it would later into the year, because as they're growing, they're using more fuel. They're using everything available to grow and mature. So on that first initial spray, if you were to take a tissue sample of the whatever it is that you're spraying and have it tested, you'll see the numbers start to wean down after like 6 weeks or so, because that plant is using more fuel and it needs everything available to mature. And then later into the year, when you get into like early summer, midsummer, everything starts to mature, the more you spray again, then those numbers are locked at a higher level for longer periods of time. What's up, Cody? Timothy, this takes the place using salt and mineral piles licks. This actually gives them something to eat plus the minerals. Yeah, this is not something you dump on the ground. Who asked that? Timothy. So it's nothing you dump on a pile. They have taken a solid into a liquid and made it into a foiler spray. Is micronutrition. It's not macronutrition. Micro is all your minors. This is absolutely 100% not a fertilizer. It has 0 NPK in it. People get that mixed up. That's probably the number 2 question, because you're just spraying fertilizer. It is absolutely not a fertilizer. You can spray something, green growing plant, get that plant tested through a tissue sample, and you will see for yourself that the numbers double. The mineral content in that plant actually doubles, if not triples, on plants that you did not spray. It increases digestible proteins, which basically means more sticks to the ribs and less is pooped out. So you'll see body gain, body weight as well. Chris, does it work on regular grass fields? 100%. If it's green and growing, spray it. If you keep in mind, some people spend $30 a bag for a 3-foot circle of stuff they dump on the ground. That rain washes away. $79 for 5 acres of instant food plot makes perfect sense to me. Yes. You buy corn, you buy multiple bags of corn, you buy multiple bags of this, that, and the other, that has no scientific data that actually works. There's no numbers to back any of that up. So Antler Grow, you can actually see for yourself through a tissue sample that the numbers don't lie. You know, there's scientific numbers and data behind it that shows that it works. And it only makes sense because deer live in the wild. They eat green and growing plants, 5 to 7 pounds of it on a daily basis. So it only makes sense to me by creating a healthier plant, which in turn is going to create healthier animals, not just deer, but any grazing animal, whether it's, deer, elk, turkey, quail, birds, anything that, is a grazing animal, because you got the bugs as well. The bugs are eating the plants, you're spraying, and it's just a whole transfer process, especially with the turkeys, because they're buggers. They scratch and bug and eat all that stuff and eat the vegetation as well. So it's a huge transfer process between all wildlife. Explain micronutrients. Micronutrients are basically your miners. Everything in the world needs micronutrition, even human beings. I'm not an expert, so I can't explain it scientifically, but micronutrients are your miners. Basically, micronutrition takes a little bit to go a long way. Macronutrition takes a lot to make a little bit of a difference. Micro takes a little bit to make a huge difference. So it's the difference between eating a Big Mac cheeseburger and like green and growing plants and fruits and everything that has those live enzymes in them, and all those mineral content, and the micros is what keeps us healthy. It's what helps fight disease and things like that in human beings. And the same in wildlife. All wildlife needs micronutrients, but with the soil being so depleted over the years, the plants, the micronutrition and it's just not there. So the plants can't reach. They have enough to survive, but they don't have enough to thrive. So again, with a tissue sample, you will be able to see that in the tissue sample from whatever it is that you're spraying. Does this attract outside deer to an area other than the deer that's already there? It'll attract deer because in two ways. It attracts deer because of the copper mineral that's in there. They can actually smell that, so they're attracted to it that way. But they're more attracted to it by creating a healthier food source, because deer will seek out the most nutritious food available wherever they're at. So if they're traveling along and they're browsing animals, and all of a sudden they come onto your property, or come into an area that's been sprayed, they know it's a more nutritious plant because it's more palatable, it's more sweet to them, and it tastes better. So it attracts them that way more than anything, because deer are attracted to the most healthiest food source in the area. I like the fact that it is legal even in states where baiting is not legal. Dave, yes, that's a good point. Antler grow is legal in all states. It's not baiting. It's under an agricultural license, so it is legal in all states, I think, except maybe California or something. But it is legal everywhere. So in areas or states that it is illegal to use any sort of bait or mineral that you dump on the ground or something like that, Antler grow is 100% legal because it's under an agricultural license. So it's available to people that can't do anything, which I think is amazing. Antler grow work best on an established food plot or on a new first year food plot. Either one would be awesome. You can do it on an established one, or you can do it on a new one. If you go to spray a new one, you want to wait to whatever it is that you're growing is about 4 to 6 inches tall, then you can start spraying. That was Sean. So Cody says, so I don't have a sprayer, going to get one soon, so what product would be better for me for making food plots? Cody, I'm a little confused about your question. Are you asking how you can make food plots? Are you saying you don't have a sprayer? I'm just scrolling through questions here to see if I missed any, and then we are going to get ready and pick a winner here. and wait for Cody to re-ask his question. Here's another question. Josh says, hey buddy, I know poison ivy, etc. are harmful to humans, but can we spray on ivies? How about honeysuckle? Yes. Poison ivy, deer love eating poison ivy. There's over 700 different species of browse that deer browse on throughout, depending on what time of year that it is. But yes, poison ivy, honeysuckle, all that stuff, anything green and growing, 100% spray the heck out of it. Like I said, your best thing to do is to go onto your property, know what the deer are eating, and then spray that. Me personally, just because I love it so much and I want to benefit as much as possible, I just spray everything. But if you're obviously trying to grow them and help the herd and help the wildlife in your area, find what they're eating and then spray that. Tim Garrett, to 1 gallon of water. So it's always 1 ounce of product per gallon of water. So this cap here on top of here is 1 ounce. So if you mix 1 ounce of cap full of Antler Grow into 1 gallon of water, that's how it's mixed. Always, no questions asked. 1 ounce of Antler Grow per gallon of water. They do sell a 4 ounce bottle. I can't remember how much it is, but this was designed for your backpack sprayer because majority of backpack sprayers is 4 gallons of water. So this is 4 ounces. But your money, for the money, this is where it's at. So they were just designed for, if people want to test it, or they just have a smaller scale. But honestly, the gallon is where it's at. Your opinion on spraying close to your stand? Do you recommend staying a little away from your stand? Yeah, I don't make the mistake I did the first year I used it. I sprayed it everywhere around my tree stand, like directly under it. And opening day of deer season, I had deer all around me for hours underneath the tree eating all the browse that I ate, and I couldn't get out of the tree stand. So I text one of the owners, Jeff. I'm like, dude, I don't know what happened, but I can't get out of my tree stand. And he just types back and was like, laugh out loud, because he knows, whatever you spray, that the deer, is palatable to the deer, they're going to eat it. So he just typed back, was like, laugh out loud, because he knows. Sean, can you overspray? It's a good question. Can you overspray an area? Use too much? None of us is going to use too much. You would have to spray, I think it is, I don't even remember, it's like 40 times or something. If Jeff is watching on here, he might be able to answer that question, but I think it's like 40 times you would have to spray in order to build up, the numbers too high to be too high for the plant. I think it's like 40 sometimes, I believe, which I'm never going to spray 40 times. Jake, more of the use of the product definitely sounds like the better and the results you're going to expect. Well, the product is so potent, more is not technically better. It's just that first initial growing season is where everything is using more fuel. So if you typically, you can spray early spring when everything starts to green and grow, early summer, midsummer, late summer, and then concentrate around your bow stands for deer hunting. If you're trying to really, really grow the deer. If you're just, want to do every 2 months, that's fine too. It's just for instance, my property in Pennsylvania, I'm going to be spraying as much as I possibly can, just because I'm trying to help the whole herd and to see personally what I can get out of that property. Because it is PA, PA is not known for, huge bucks. But there's no magic pill out there. There's no silver bullet. It's not like you can just, dump something on the ground or spray something and expect, you know, a 200-inch deer the next year. It's what you do year after year is where the benefits come from. Protein, minerals, vitamins, all of that. Chris, 4-ounce bottle, $17. Yes. Kenny has a good question. What is the shelf life of Antler Grow? 0. It has no shelf. It has no shelf life. It will not freeze. You can keep it outside. It will not freeze. They test it all the time. I've stuffed it in the freezer. It will not freeze. Does not go bad. Josh, not that I know of any known plants that shouldn't spray. Not that I can think of, but whatever's green and growing, you can spray. Mitch, early spring, every 2 months. Start early spring and go from there. But it should be reapplied every 2 months if you're trying to benefit and help and grow bigger deer. Josh, is there an attractant in it? No, there is not an attractant in it. You are, by spraying the plants, you are creating healthier plants, which in turn is more attractable to wildlife. Mitch, it lasts for about 2 months on and in the plant. So if you were to do a tissue sample of that plant that you sprayed around the 6 to 8 week mark, you'll see the numbers start to drop off. So they're going to be at the peak, and then around 6 to 8 weeks they're going to start dropping off. So that's why you reapply every 2 months to keep those numbers at the highest level for longer periods of time. That's true that about PA, but there are some big boys there. Yeah, for sure. There's big deer everywhere. I didn't mean anything by that saying there's, you know, not big deer in PA. I'm just saying PA is not known as a big buck state. Timothy, no, all wildlife, because it's a transfer process, because you got bugs that are eating the vegetation. You're spraying the bugs. You're spraying the green and growing plants. Turkeys are buggers. They're coming in, eating the bugs, the plants. And it's transferring to the turkeys, the ducks, the quail, the pheasants, the elk, the mule deer, everything. Anything that's a grazing animal. PA is an underrated big buck state. I bought a gallon of Antler Grow. It works great. Don't freeze in the garage over winter. It lasts forever. Great product. Yes, sir. I can't use this because I'm on a no baiting CW. Kenny, so I can't use this because I'm in a no baiting CWD area. You can absolutely use it. It is legal in all states, I think, except California. So yes, it's not bait, it's plant food. So yes, you can use it. It has nothing to do with CWD. Has nothing to do with a CWD state. Like Dave Murphy just said, legal, Kenny, it's not bait. All right, guys, I think, what are we on? 30 minutes? Yeah, we're up 30 minutes. So I'm going to scroll through these questions and we're going to pick a winner to win a free bottle of Antler Grow. Somebody's going to be happy. So who we got? Let's see a bunch of thumbs up if you guys are ready for me to pick a winner. I want to see the thumbs up going through the screen here. There they go. All them thumbs up. All right, let's see. I kind of had an idea who I was going to pick because they had some good questions. Let's see. I think I'm going to pin the comment on who is going to win. All right. I just pinned the comment. Not sure if it showed up, but that's who won. Jake Phillips. So if Jake Phillips is still watching, please send the page a message, and Antler Grow, not myself, but Antler Grow is going to send you out a free bottle of Antler Grow. So we're going to be doing this more often. We actually have a contest coming up here in like a week where you guys can win more bottles of Antler Grow, more stuff. We're going to be giving away some t-shirts and things like that. And also we have a trail camera giveaway on my YouTube channel. So if you guys want to go to Whitetail Obsession Outdoors on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. At 5,000 subscribers, we're giving away a free Spy Point trail camera. So we're going to be doing this more often, maybe every couple weeks, once a month, something like that, because we're just I'm trying to get the information out there to people and answer all the questions that you guys always email me about or comment on YouTube. I don't get paid for any of this. I'm not getting paid to, you know, to give this away or anything like that. It's just a product that this will be the 3rd year I'm using it. I've never seen anything like it. It just makes sense, and I like to use a product that has numbers and scientific data and to back it up to show you that it actually works. So Jake Phillips, if you're watching, send our page a message with your address, and we'll get the bottle shipped out to you ASAP. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for more stuff. I'll see you guys.